Ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year. Welcome out to the garage. So today I want to show you something that I got that when I was starting to think about a couple finishing touches, odds and ends that I want to have in my mobile kit, I realized for even a portable kit, it's really nice to have a multimeter for at least some basic troubleshooting. And I of course kind of went on like a little bit of a deep dive. I'm probably going to do some I don't know about reviews, but I'm going to show you some of the different things that I ordered because I realized I need to step up my electrical testing troubleshooting game with respect to the my car DIY hobby. But anyway, with respect to that little kit, this is the guy right now that's kind of the candidate to go in the box. And so it's this little $20 multimeter, which it got some pretty good reviews. And as far as multiple meters, it does quite a bit of things. And I'm not here to tell you I'm any kind of expert on multimeters and their use and all of that. But anybody that's troubleshot problems on cars for any period of time, eventually you're going to run into a situation where you're going to have to do at least some basic testing. And to be able to do things like checking continuity, just checking voltage, just basic stuff, it's going to be nice to have something, right? So this is just a little bit better than nothing, doesn't take up much space. And again, the reviews were pretty good on this thing. So what I'm going to do now, because it doesn't come with batteries, and my understanding is it takes just like a single, double, AAA. I'm going to try and open up the case and see if we can't get something installed here. And let's see if I can find a smaller bit. And so I was looking at some other more kind of expensive options. So there's a Fluke 101 and 107 that I had my eye on. And at work, at any of my jobs, it's always been Fluke multimeters, right? That's been what the government or the military provided for me to use, as well as, well, that's pretty much the extent of the places where I've used them professionally. And so, I don't actually have a Fluke myself, right? I mean, it'd be nice to have, but it's always just been kind of a nice to have thing, as opposed to something that I ever felt I could really justify spending that much. Well, I'm really not sure how this thing's supposed to open up. To put in the battery. What am I doing wrong here? Open back cover and install battery before use. Huh. Well, I'm just not sure how. How does it open? So yeah, I'm really not sure. Do I just tug on these? Seems like a bad idea. What What am I not seeing here? All right, let me figure it out. Let's see, is this some type of a hint? Maybe. Let's see. Well, hey, look at that. All right. That's it. Well, so anyways, when I was looking at the Fluke 101 and 107s, I was noticing that some of the, oh, here, let's just take a look at that. Look at that little fuse in there that looks like it'd be very easy to replace if needed. And then just a little spot for a little AAA battery. There you go. And so, but anyway, what I was saying about the 101 and 107 was, I had noticed that, let's just flip that back to off, that some of those, they arrived with batteries installed, and they'd already, like, the battery had already started to corrode the little connectors and kind of destroyed this, which now, like, the 101 is like $77 and the 107 is like, I think it's like around $115, $120. But yeah, the Flukes were getting destroyed by these batteries. So what I did is I checked out, where did I check out? Project Farm. He just did a video talking about how, you know, the normal batteries are obsolete now, and how the lithiums are, you know, pretty much the way to go. And so anyway, that particular issue just had me thinking, okay, I think for these type of devices, I want to go, I want to go find me some little lithium AAAs instead of a normal NIM battery. Is that what it is? Nickel metal hydride. Just so that I could potentially avoid the you know, corrosion issue and destruction of some of my electronics. So anyways, after following the constructions, got the battery in there, and so now I'm just going to move it to the volts position, and I believe this is like auto, you know, auto ranging dealio, so you don't even need to select between AC, DC, whatever. Wow, this thing is just dancing all over the place. Not super confidence inspiring right off the bat, is it? Okay. There we go. Now we're to 0. That's a little better. So I don't know, let's just go with what's easily accessible. Derp. 1.8 volts. Right, that seems about right for a brand new AAA. And then let's see if we've got our little, is it gonna beep at us? Is it gonna give us a sound? Maybe it doesn't do that. I'm kind of surprised there. I thought it did that. Let's see. So I was just, I just put it to, let's see, what did I do? Oh, so there's a little function button, right? Okay. What is, oh, there we go. I just had to put it in the right. Yep, so we get tone. So let's see if I've got something to test real quick. Oh, here we go. Let's do this. Right? Indeed, a pass-through. Look at that. All right. Let's see. Just go through the little functions here. Okay, so this is where you'd actually want to be, what you'd actually be using to ohm something out, right? Test continuity. Again, I'm not gonna profess to be any kind of expert here. Anyhow, but yeah, just for basics, doing the basics, something to have in a little kit. This is what I snagged. Again, got pretty good reviews on the onlines. I watched a couple of videos where they were fairly impressed with the capabilities of this thing, and then it doesn't take up much space, and for 20 bucks, you know, if something happened to it, you know, it walked away from your portable kit, you know, you're not going to be too terribly heartbroken over it. So, let's see here. Try and get these. There we go. Well, something nice to have if you need it. Again, this might not be the choice that you would make. I'm going to show you a couple others that are pretty good candidates, and maybe I'll do a comparison between them once I figure out maybe a better way to show you their operation and some basic tests. So anyway, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Hey folks, so I just thought you might like to see real quick, just a quick comparison between my Klein Tools MM420, and right now it's on the kind of ohms and with the sound, and then same thing for this Allosun. And so what I've got here is just like an alligator clip test lead. See this thing? So I'm just going to clip this on to both sides. I'll let you see the value. Right? All right. So that one is showing it's, you know, you hear it beeping and it's at what, 0.1. All right. And now let's go over to the Klein, and then just same wire, same, I believe, same settings. Right. And so instead of showing 0.1, it shows like nothing, right? So they're pretty close. And again, just go back again to this one, this Allosun. Right, okay, there we go. Now we're at 0 on it, but it's kind of dancing on the line between 0 and 0.1. And then if I just move it down to voltage, again, let's just do a real quick comparison. And I'm gonna go, on this one, gotta select my volts DC. And so again, we'll just do the battery here. Battery check with on the Allosun. Okay, so we got 1.825 with the Allosun, and .824 with the Klein. So again, whole point of this was just to show for the basic stuff, right? And I'm guessing most of the time, you know, most of us are just using the basics. But anyway, I just wanted to show you that, to show you the thing does work. Anyway, thanks for watching. See ya.